Welcome back to the Rugby League Guru podcast. We have got our third episode of the table. We are going to go through the centre position today, trying to find our four best centres from the NRL era, 98 onwards. This is episode 3, guys. If you haven't watched already, go back and have a listen to episode 1. That was fullbacks. Episode 2, wingers. There was a bit of controversy in both of them. I had to pull rank on a certain decision in the first episode. Matty pulled it in the second one. So today, if we have any controversy, which I'll be fucking shocked beyond belief if we don't, it's my turn to pull rank on this one. How you finding the series so far, Big Timer?
Good. I like that I've been upgraded to the to up here now. Kat was at the dentist apparently, but she had a wedding yesterday, so
yeah, I'm not sure if that was. I'm not sure where she was this morning. I'm not sure if she was telling the truth.
That's not fair. That's not fair.
Thank you.
That was good.
So yeah, at the big desk now, Matty the Water Boy. And we're going to go through centre of the year. Once again, guys, if you haven't listened to fullback and winger, go back and have a listen to those. I'm going to nominate my first centre to be at the table. I think this one's an absolute shit-in. We unfortunately, actually I won't say that, we had to leave him out of another position. It's probably just ruined it. But anyway, GI, I think he is a certainty. I think GI is the best centre I have ever seen.
Yep, definitely. Like you just look at what he did for Queensland.
Yeah.
As the main yardstick there. Like I don't think anybody comes close. Like we talk about Mal Meninga, but he was well before my time. Yeah. I think his last year in the NRL was before I was born. So I've only seen highlights. Inglis is just the most complete, destructive centre. He's one of the best athletes to ever play the game. I know he played a lot of his career at fullback for South, but when he played centre for Melbourne, he was unbelievable. But when he played centre for Queensland, like I don't think I'll be shocked if someone comes close to the next. Well, I don't think there's anyone currently playing NRL who would even get near him.
Yeah, I think there's players currently playing that accolades wise could beat GI, but eye test, no.
I don't know if they can. Like he scored 18 tries in Origin at centre, and he gave Darius about 17 as well.
That's fair.
Like just certainly in the Origin arena, maybe in NRL because Inglis had 3
I think in NRL, guys could definitely catch GI.
Especially because only one prem was at centre and the prem was taken away as well. So whatever your thoughts on that are. But yeah, certainly in the Origin arena, he was just a beast.
Yeah, I don't think we're going to get a better centre in Origin. If we do, my God, they're going to be one hell of a player. I think as well, the other argument when it comes to like Dally M's centre of the year, did he get Dally M centre of the year?
Don't know.
I don't think he did, just having a look through the list here. But once again, GI is such an exceptional talent that when we're talking about the best centre of all time, he didn't get Dally M centre of the year, and I don't give a fuck personally because it's what he did in the rep arenas. It's what he did in the biggest arenas consistently.
Yeah, he got so to be fair though, he got Dally M Rep Player of the Year in 2008, 2009, and I think it's safe to say he was playing centre in the representative scene then.
Yeah,
so
and I think the reality is with GI that like even when he was playing 5'8", it wasn't a traditional 5'8" sort of role. It was his own sort of brand. His running game was his strength there. I find GI just for what he did in the rep arena. He obviously terrorised us as teenagers for 8 years.
Got a Wally Lewis medal at centre.
Yeah, just I don't think there's any arguments. Granted, he did a lot of incredible things at fullback in Clubland, but when I think about just if I was picking my greatest team of all time centres, it would be Mal and GI, and I probably pick GI first.
Yeah, me too.
Maybe a little bit of bias because we obviously saw GI's career from start to finish, didn't see Mal's, but I think without a doubt he's a top 2 centre of all time. So GI, he locks himself in at number 1. Who do you want to nominate, mate?
Yeah, this one was an absolute lock for me. I hope you agree. Jamie Lyon. Yeah, he's just, I think he gets forgotten about probably because he doesn't really look like a good footy player. He doesn't really look like an athlete or anything like that. But, geez, the amount of damage that he did at centre from the Manly Sea Eagles, he was incredible in that kind of like phenomenal run that they had.
Yep.
He just put it on a platter for whoever was outside him. He had a great combination with Glenn Stewart. Jamie Lyon, if he like cared more, sorry, that's the wrong word. If he like, I wish he wanted to play for New South Wales more.
Yeah. I don't know what the right word is, but I know what you're trying to say.
Yeah. Because, we needed someone like him back in our really tough days. And he played, like he was that good that he played Origin at 5'8" at some point.
Yeah.
I know like for New South Wales, were struggling a bit then, but he played for the Blues at 5'8". Yeah, Jamie Lyon, he's one of the best centres I've ever seen.
Yep, for sure. It's funny, you know, I'm about to go to England for the Ashes. He played in the last Ashes.
Wow, did he?
2001, yep. So I think that's the other thing you got to remember with Jamie Lyon is that we all remember the Manly Seagulls days, but at Parramatta, he was outstanding as well.
And it's crazy how he was at Para and then he just went to Super League.
Yep. I think he went from Para to play for Weewar, I think. He went back to club footy and then went over to the Super League, popped back over and when he went over to Super League, I think he won Man of Steel in 2005 as well.
Yep.
Then he came back over and I think this sort of sums it all up when you're talking about Jamie Lyon. So from 2010 to 2014, 5 seasons there, he won Dally M Centre of the Year in 4 of them. That's just fucking phenomenal.
Yeah.
Hard to beat. I think the other thing that I love about Jamie Lyon is that he was a very unique centre. He was obviously playing centre, but he was almost a second 5'8" as well. Kicking game was tremendous. Defensively was fantastic. Deceptively just so quick as well, which I think sort of gets forgotten about with him a little bit. Dally M Captain of the Year 2012, 2014.
And that gets forgotten about as well because like if you said in 2003 that he was going to be a captain, let alone Captain of the Year twice, that you would have been laughed at.
Yes. Yeah, exactly right.
Pretty sure he was the youngest player on the field in the 01 grand final as well.
I think he was. I think he scored a double in that grand final, I think,
Wouldn't
from memory.
But yeah, Dally M Centre of the Year 4 years in a row.
Yeah, so you have a look at that 2001 final series, and mate, the craziest thing is, and I don't have the numbers in front of me, but if he would have been one of the youngest, and he actually played 3 finals games in 2000 as well.
Oh, well, there you go.
So yeah, in the 2001 final series, Parramatta, probably the best team to not win a premiership based on what they did that season. He played 3 games in the final series, scored a try in each of them, and in the grand final scored a double.
He scored 15 tries that year, and his first try was in round 13.
That's fucked.
So he just finished the year. Like, that was when Eels were that attacking juggernaut. Still, I think, still the best attacking team of all time, right?
I think so.
Yeah. But yeah, like he didn't score a single try in the first 12 rounds. Crazy.
He played 29 games that season.
Yeah.
That is fucking insane. And yeah, as you said, didn't score a try until round 13. And by the end of round 16, he'd only scored 2 tries.
He started that year. His first 3 games were in 3 different positions: bench, centre, and 5'8".
That's a 19-year-old.
Then bench, 5'8", and then the rest of the year was at centre.
Oh my God, what a unique cat. I think the other thing as well, that whether he added it to his game or they just didn't need it until later, like he came back for Manly and I think he became one of the better goal kickers in the game as well. Very, very handy.
He just had it all, didn't he?
He could do everything. He could literally do fucking everything. Jamie Lyon, I think he's an absolute must there. I think that because he didn't play rep football and all that sort of stuff, and I think just because he looks quite unassuming, I think people just don't respect how good he was.
And didn't like talk that much either.
Yeah, didn't say shit. Didn't want to play Origin. That always put a bit of a black mark over him. But as far as centres go, I'd be very hard pressed to go anyone over Jamie Lyon. My next nomination, I had spot 2 and 3 were pretty similar to me. I had them sort of the same, but I think now that we've spoken about his career, Jamie Lyon, I would have him at 2. Number 3 for me, I can't go past Dustin Hodges.
So he was my number 4.
4, sweet. Yeah, his career was just insane, Hodjo. I think that I think it's probably become less important the way the direction of the game has changed. But like back in the 2000s, dummy half runs were so important, and Hodjo was the absolute best at them. Like very rarely would you see Hodjo get tackled by the first marker. He would turn them inside out every single time. I don't think there's been a player that I've seen that isn't a hooker that makes more meters out of dummy half than Justin Hodges.
Oh, it's not even. There's not even a number 2 really,
mate. Even it wouldn't shock me if he maybe did get more than the average hooker.
Yeah,
because he was fucking dynamic. He had the flick pass.
Man, I remember watching on Friday Night Footy, and he got into dummy half, and you're just like, he's going to run. And then they just wouldn't stop him.
Wouldn't stop him. And he would always turn the first marker inside out. I think the best thing about Hodjo throughout his career, he always beat the first defender every single time, and it would always just create momentum. He had a brilliant flick pass. He was big and strong. He was an enforcer on every football team he was on as well. Crazy career too. Obviously started at the Broncos, was the hot shot, signed with the Roosters. Wayne Bennett drops him to reserve grade, didn't want to pick him, goes down to the Roosters. I think 2002 he was actually injured for the premiership that they won. I'm pretty sure he didn't play in that.
No, he was centre.
He was centre, was he?
Yeah.
And then in 03 and 04, he was obviously in the centres as well. And I think it was 03, 04 where he sort of established himself, in my opinion.
So 03 was when he got injured.
He got injured in 03, did he?
Yeah, and then 2004 he played.
He was definitely in that because he had that one-on-one battle with Willie Tonga all year.
Yeah.
And I think at the time there was a brief moment there where people sort of went, I know Willie Tonga's the best centre in rugby league, the way that he played that season. But
Willie Tonga was the best centre in rugby league at that point.
at that point,
yeah.
but longevity, Hodges just blew it out of the water. And I do think that Hodges as a centre, I think he's a little bit underappreciated because he was in that Queensland team with GI.
Yeah.
I think like he
Definitely.
was such a fucking freak, Hodges. And, I think the greatest testament to him, which, obviously we're putting him in the, GOAT centre conversation, but you go back to that 2006 grand final or that 2006 season, Wayne Bennett makes the decision about 3 weeks out from finals. I'm going to move Hodges to fullback.
Yeah, that's the big one.
It's just crazy.
It's wild. It's
Unbelievable.
Just, yeah. It's going, like looking at that 2006 year, it's so funny. Like the Broncos lost, I think 5 games in a row or something.
Yeah.
Mid to late-ish in the season.
They lost their hooker, Mick Ennis. They had to move their centre to hooker, and he went on to win a Clive Churchill. Carmichael Hunt was the reason why Darren Lockyer moved out of fullback.
Yep.
And he moved to wing.
Yeah.
So it is chaos. And what they managed to achieve. It really is. Like when you have a look at, and I haven't really thought about it until right now, when you have a look at the Broncos' 2 last premierships, they're probably the 2 most chaotic premierships in that period.
They are.
As far as all the things that had to happen, they had a halfback that Shane Perry that, I would argue as far as achievements and everything, he'd probably be the worst halfback to win a comp in the last 25 years.
Yep.
It's fucking impressive.
Well, I think if you go to like round 23 when they were on that 4 or 5 game losing streak in 06, that might have been the same corresponding round that Mam and Reynolds got injured.
Yes.
I reckon they would have got equally written off because I thought that was season over for Bronx this year. It probably would have probably mirrored it exactly, to be honest.
That's crazy. I haven't really thought about that until just then.
And then they had they had that mad comeback in the prelim as well. Like, what was a better comeback? The Penrith comeback or the Bulldogs comeback?
Yep, another cracking conversation.
Seriously.
I think throughout that series in particular, that final series, 2006, he was absolutely enormous, Hodjo. He was massive. So he moved to fullback. Yeah, he moved to fullback in round 25. So 2 weeks before the final started. Fucking crazy. If you have a look through, from the moment he moved to fullback, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 games and scored 5 tries in those 6 games, including one in the grand final at fullback as well. Great player, Hodjo. I'm glad that we both had him in there.
Oh, I had to.
Another one that terrorised us for so fucking long.
I think it's such a good point you make that he was overshadowed by GI. Yeah. Because he was enormous in Origin, Justin Hodges. Absolutely enormous.
I think the other thing that probably holds Hodges back a little bit, and like he obviously won comps, but mate, nothing would have made me happier. He was the captain of that Broncos side in the 2015 grand final. Like if that game goes for 3 seconds less, there's also an image of Hodges lifting the trophy for the Brisbane Broncos. Crazy.
I was happy as well when, I think it might have been his last year, when they let him lift the shield.
Yes.
For Queensland. Didn't love it at the time, but looking back, nice moment.
But wouldn't that have been an unbelievable story if they do win that 15 grand final? It's Wayne Bennett and Justin Hodges standing on stage after Wayne dropped him to reserve grade for leaving the team, and then he's the premiership winning captain for them. Crazy. But Hodjo, I think he's an absolute must here. Now, this is where I think it's going to get a little bit murky, and you're going to nominate here. And honestly, I've got 5 names written down here that I think you could say, and I don't know which one you're going to say.
Why don't you guess?
Is it a modern day player?
No.
Okay. I reckon it'll be Josh Morris or Gasnier.
Gasnier.
Yeah.
Okay. And you're right. Like I had plenty of thought about this one. I wasn't 100% sure, but I think I'd put, like, when I just think about them individually, I think I have Gasnier ahead of all these guys.
Gaz, obviously a tremendous career, came back for the Dragons. I believe it was halfway through the 2010 season. Yeah, return from, I remember obviously it was a different time back then, but I remember the pictures in the paper of him playing for that French rugby team that had like a pink jersey, and it was like, oh my God, where the fuck has he been? He's been on the moon or something, Mark Gasnier. Then he came back. He obviously scored the first try in the 2010 grand final. Shimmy, shimmy, go.
Yeah, I think what cost Gasnier, and this isn't his fault at all, but the Dragons winning 1 premiership in the early 2000s is a disgrace. how they managed to choke that many times, especially bloody 2005. Like, how do you lose that prelim against the Tigers? But I'm pretty sure, were they in the hunt 2000? No, not 2006. What was the other one? Oh, no, 2009, but he wasn't there for that one.
He wasn't there for that one, but
that was the main one,
was
05.
a huge miss.
Yeah, that was bad. Like, the Dragons, really, they should have won the comp 05, 09, and 010.
Yeah.
And I know that he wasn't there for 09, but it's like, it's on level with, I reckon it's worse than the Roosters only winning one because at least they made the grand finals, but they missed two of the should have been the most sure thing grand finals. Like, it's crazy how 2005 it was going to be Parramatta versus the Dragons.
Yeah,
like that was the grand final. The Cowboys absolutely murdered the Eels, and Dean Hallertau puts the bloody Tigers on his back with a double. Yeah, I think that's what
that season is such a fucking outlier.
Oh,
like,
crazy.
obviously, all those things you just mentioned were crazy, but it's also, I think it's the only final series where both of the grand finalists from the previous year missed finals, Bulldogs and Roosters.
Did they really?
Well, the Roosters 100% did because that was when Freddie went.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure Canterbury did as well. I'm pretty sure both of them missed finals, yeah.
Wow.
And you talk about that year, obviously the West Tigers and the Cowboys both, like, the West Tigers played a really wild brand of footy that year, but so did the North Queensland Cowboys. I think that's kind of forgotten because they didn't win. Like,
Well,
it was
Tigers and Cowboys didn't make the finals the next year.
Yep.
So it happened 2 years in a row.
2 years in a row, yeah. And the way that the Tigers and the Cowboys played that year, I think we mentioned this on Bloke the other day, was when Melbourne went, okay, we got to change the ruck.
Yeah. The whole game changed that
The whole game changed. Yeah. The Tigers changed it briefly, and then Melbourne went, okay, we're going to change it forever now.
Now, we've gone off track a bit, but I think
Forgot who we were talking about.
The lack of Dragons rings, I guess, in that era kind of cost Gaz, and thank God he came back in 2010 because he deserved one. He was one of the greats.
Just on on Mark Gasnier's career as well, there was like Sowie talks a lot about guys have certain slots that they play their best footy in, whether it's the Friday night game, the 5:30 Saturday, blah, blah, blah. One thing I always remember as a kid was every time Mark Gasnier played the Tigers, he fucking torched them. Absolutely torched them. Have a look at these numbers. So if you have a look at Mark Gasnier, in his last 5 games against the West Tigers, he scored 1 try in his last 5 games.
Okay.
He played 17 games as a whole against the Tigers. He scored 21 tries.
Okay, so let's do some maths here. That's 22 tries in 12 games.
It's 20 tries in 12 games. Against the Tigers.
That's crazy.
He went on a streak from 2001 to 2005 where this is just the games in a row against the Tigers. 3 tries, 2 tries, 1 try, 4 tries, 2 tries.
Oh, my God.
Unbelievable. And then he had back-to-back games in 2006 where he scored 3 tries in both those games that season.
Cooking with Gaz.
Yeah. I think as well, the Gasnier flick.
Yeah.
Like, it's obviously, you've got some other players that have obviously had it down pat, but geez, Gasnier was fucking good at it as well.
Like when I think flick, I probably think Matt Gidley, but he just hit the shimmy flick. And look, sometimes it didn't work.
Yeah.
But it worked a lot of the time as well. So, yeah, it's kind of like when Lomax is kind of veered now, but when he came into the comp, there was comparisons there, like, he's going to be the next Gasnier.
And at the time, it seemed a little bit strange, but now you go, oh, okay.
Yeah, I see why.
Yeah.
And obviously it's changed because Lomax is now one of the best wingers in the comp.
Yeah.
So it's a bit different, but yeah, he was a good player, Gaz. He was mad.
I remember talking to Sowie before he did the show and everything. I think you were actually there a few years ago when we had him in Bloke Studios, and I remember we were talking about Lomax, and I sort of said, I just don't see it at the moment.
Yeah.
And he, had obviously been there at training sessions, and he sort of said, mate, there's stuff that he can do that Gaz couldn't.
Yeah.
I want to call
Gaz.
I know what he can do. There's stuff that Lomax does on Monday to Friday that people don't see that I just go, what the fuck? And now you've started to see it come out in first grade. All right. I am happy to run with that. Some other guys that I had in the conversation, I had Stephen Crichton in there. I actually had him in 4 over Gasnier.
Wow.
I just think because defensively, I just think he is so fucking good. He's obviously, and I guess the argument against this is that some of Critter's comps were on the wing. Some of his big moments were on the wing. But I just think centre, and you know what, granted, the way that he plays a bit of a hybrid sort of fullback centre role as well. Maybe there's a bit of recency bias. I think Critter will knock out Gaz by the end of his career. You agree with that, or?
I agree that He's a good chance, yeah.
Yeah, I think he's a very
I'm not
good
going to
chance
say
to-
he absolutely will, but I think he's definitely on track.
Yeah, I have Critter very close to knocking Gaz out
Yeah.
now, if not having him slightly ahead potentially. I'm happy to wear there might be a bit of recency bias in that.
I think it needs to be spoken about more how important Critter's 15 minutes was next to Cleary's in 23.
Yes.
Like, they do not win that game without Critter.
Yep.
He scored that try over Stags. Like, who does that?
Yep. Forced dropout.
He forced the dropout and not only puts a kick in from 40 out and then smashes whoever it was.
Yep.
There was something else he did as well, but yeah, he's ridiculous. And then I know it was at wing, but the intercept, pretty sure that was at wing.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, right wing. Yeah.
I remember there was a time in 2020 where, again, wing, but like he'd scored like 9. He was like on a 9 or 10 game winning streak. It was like the best to bet on. You're like, well, he's going to score. He's
gonna
the man.
score.
But yeah, it's mostly his defense. Like,
Yeah.
geez, he's incredible. And I think, look, if Samoa win a World Cup and Critter's the center, then he'll be etching his way onto that Mount Rushmore for sure.
Yeah. Just looking at Stephen Crichton's career as a whole, we talk about how, he's played a bit of fullback, he's played some wing. I think the more conversation he's played wing. Across the entirety of his career, right? Mm-hmm. Fullback, he's played 8 games. 5'8", he's played 2. He's come off the bench in 3. What do you reckon the divvy up is between centre and wing?
I'm going to say, what's the combined total?
The combined total of his career is, where is it? Like 142 plus rep games. It's like 160 or something.
I'm going to say 55 wing.
It's 13 wing.
What?
Yep. 13 games on the wing, 146 at centre.
I don't believe that.
Yeah, it almost doesn't compute for me either, but
What?
Rugby League Project has never lied to me. I don't know why it would start now. And if you have a look from an NRL point of view, fullback 7 games, wing 10, centre 123.
What the hell?
Yeah, for me, that's where I sort of...
I guess because he played 2 GFs on the wing.
Yeah, and I think that's the big thing. He did play enormous games there. I would probably have Critter over Gaz, but it's probably not one I'm going to pull rank for because I think Gasnier, we obviously saw an entirety of a career.
Yeah.
Critter, we haven't yet.
But there's just no evidence of Critter slowing down.
Yeah,
so.
there isn't. And I think I personally think if we have this conversation in 2 years' time, it'll be Critter. But
especially if he either, and it doesn't have to be both, just one, wins a comp with the Dogs, or wins something with Samoa.
Yeah, 100%. That World Cup coming next year or with Canterbury, one of the two.
Yeah.
And I mean, mate, there's already an argument. The influence he's had on Canterbury, the way he's turned them around from centre is so fucked up.
Yeah.
It's crazy. All right, so we're going to run with Gaz at centre.
Yep.
And we're going to have, is it fair to say Critter's the unluckiest? Is there any, there's a few others I want to mention there.
Yeah, I'd have Critter. See, well, let's talk about Josh Morris first.
Yep.
Because what he did in Origin, like I know Inglis had a great Origin career. He would have been an immortal if Josh Morris wasn't there. I reckon he would have been. Like seriously, he stopped Inglis in so much of his Origin career, and Inglis still had the career that he did. He was phenomenal defensive centre, Josh Morris.
Yeah. And he was a phenomenal defensive centre, but I just think in attack as well.
He was great.
Fucking outstanding. It's just unfortunate. He probably wasn't the best attacking player in his family.
Well, yes.
Yes, he wasn't the best attacking player in the womb at one point, which is fucking insane. But he was an absolute gun in attack. 325 games he played, 158 tries, and he's a gun defensive centre, we refer to him as.
Honestly, like he deserved a premiership.
Yeah, he 100% deserved a premiership. It's bullshit. When he arrived at the Roosters 2020, yes, he just missed
he
it.
must have. Yeah,
Remember they let him go because they had Bronson Cherry. Then he got done like 8 weeks later.
Gee, that seems like a lifetime ago.
Yeah,
that's right. Josh
Johnny
Morris was at the Sharks. What the hell?
Yeah, crazy.
I just think of him at Bulldogs. Like I obviously remember him at Dragons, but I just don't think of Roosters and Sharks.
Yeah, Sharks, I think he was in that team with like SJ and stuff, 2019, 2020.
Yeah.
I always picture Bulldogs for Josh Morris. Though.
Oh, of course.
And I think it is probably the lack of premiership that just holds him out realistically. But yeah, an absolute freak of a player. Other guys that I had in that conversation, one of those guys that didn't play a heap of footy post 1998, but Andrew Eddinghausen is one I wanted to throw in there into the conversation. As far as the centre goes, bro, Latrell for me as well. I love him at centre.
I just had this incredibly scary thought that we mentioned Mal Meninga in the fullbacks as not being able to be, but I don't think we actually did it for this podcast. So
true.
I think we should preface that Mal Meninga is not eligible for this.
Yes, Mal not eligible. Retired before 98, so doesn't come into calculations. Hence why he hasn't got a feature. So,
whoa,
relax. Get out of your car. Stop driving to Alexandria from Bundaberg to beat the shit out of me.
Latrell. What a freak.
Yeah,
what a freak. But hasn't probably done enough at centre. Like most of his career, or in years, most of his games have been at fullback. But
I think when he did play centre, he was more dominant than most, and I would argue in a short amount of time achieved more than most as well.
Yeah, definitely.
What he did, like the plays he came up with in those grand finals, and another guy I want to give a mention to is Will Chambers. Premier centre of our game for 10 years, and fucking teenage Latrell 2 years out of Champagne puts him in a body bag in a grand final and Origin.
Crazy.
Just fucked up.
And like Chambers is one of the best defensive centres all time.
And he just didn't stand a chance.
Yeah.
Insane.
Inglis. Latrell's a weird one. Like if he goes back and plays centre this year and plays centre for the next couple of years, then maybe he's in the conversation again.
Just on the the Stephen Crichton conversation before we do move on, since 2020, he's won Dally M Centre of the Year 4 times.
Oh my God, that's crazy.
And he's 24 years old.
Yeah, he'll get on this list.
I think he will get in there.
He'll get on this list.
I'm close to pulling rank on this, but I'll stick with Gaz, but I think in a year or two's time, it's conversation over. Anyone else?
He could rocket to number 2.
You fucking oath he could rocket to number 2 very, very quickly.
Yeah.
Can he catch him?
Can he catch Greg Inglis?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like if he
wins something with Samoa and the Bulldogs, it's undeniable.
If I was a betting man, it's
undeniable, but yeah.
If I was a betting man, which I am, just not a very good one, at 24 years old with 10 years to go, I would be happy to bet on he does both of those things.
Yeah.
A Samoa wins a World Cup and he wins a comp with Canterbury. He's just signed with Dogs until 2031.
Yeah.
I believe they'll win a comp in that period. He'll be the captain. It's fucking crazy. Unbelievable. I think centre is one of those interesting positions when you have a look at, who's won Dally M centre over the year. Like from essentially when Jamie Lyon retired, you went James Roberts, Joey Leilua, Dill Walker, Joey Leilua again, Latrell, Critter, Staggs, Burton, Olam, Manu, Val Holmes. A lot of different names pop up there that isn't like that for the rest of the positions.
Yeah, true.
It's an interesting little spot. All right, so we're settled.
Yeah, I think Willie Tonga as well deserves a mention.
Yes, it's a good shout. Yeah, he's a good player.
And also, as far as like centre pairings go, Jamie Lyon and Steve Maddie.
Yes,
wow.
a very good balance.
Oh yeah,
between the two of them, very hard to beat. Yeah. The other one that I just want to give a shout out to is just because he was so good both sides of the ball, and I think similar. You said that Hodges was a little bit overshadowed by GI throughout his career. I think Matt Cooper was often overshadowed by Mark Gasnier, but fuck, he was a good centre.
He was amazing.
They were
the perfect yin and yang.
Yeah.
Speaking of like defensive centres, holy moly.
And the other one, which you already did mention, but I just think he cut his career too short going to England, was Matt Gidley.
Yeah.
Who was an absolute fucking gun.
Again, revolutionised the fleet. Still called the Gidley fleet.
Still called the Gidley fleet, which is unbelievable. Crazy. But yeah, a lot of other guys that, like I'm just racking my brain for a few others we could have mentioned, like Brent Tate was a fucking fantastic centre. Another one that probably deserves a mention. A number of guys over the years, but that's what we've settled on. At the table of centres, number 1 is GI. 2 Hodges, 3 Jamie. Oh no, I think we had Jamie Lyon at 2, did we? 1 GI, 2 Jamie Lyon, 3 Justin Hodges, 4 Mark Gasnier. We had Stephen Crichton as the most unlucky to miss out, closely followed by J-Moz. If you take Critter out, who's the other guy from the modern game that you think could jump
Probably
in there?
Herbie, just the way he's kind of going.
Didn't think of Herbie. Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, I think Herbie.
Yeah, I think if Herbie was to win a comp with the Dolphins, like first year success matters as
Definitely,
well.
Yeah.
And I think probably Latrell's the other one that
Latrell.
I still think if he moved back to centre permanently,
I think so.
He could give it a fucking
Definitely.
shake. He could give it a very, very good shake.
Jeez, he's like last year in Melbourne, I think it was when he came back.
Yeah.
And I think he set up 2 and scored 2 or something. Like, just a freak.
Crazy. Yeah. There's obviously a number of young guys in the league that I think will give it a good shake too. Even like a Rob Toyer, what he's done in his first year, what he could go on to achieve. Tony Staggs isn't too old. He could be in for a big few years. So, I think Stephen Crichton's going to be very, very hard to top as the guy over the next few years. All right, guys, that is our table of centres. GI, Jamie Lyon, Hodges, Mark Gasnier, Critter, just unlucky to miss out on. Our next episode, we will be going through 5/8s.
I'm looking forward to this one.
This one's going to be an absolute cracker. I'm feeling good about 1, 2, 3. I think our orders are going to differentiate quite a bit.
Yeah.
But 4, I'm confident you're going to hate who I've got there. Okay. And I've got 3 names at 5 that I think you could have any of them at 4, and I will find it very hard to argue with. I have got a rank to pull at some point, so brace yourself for that shit.
Yep.
I might have Freddie at 1, 2, 3, and 4 if I have my way next week. But yeah, stay tuned, guys. Next few days, we'll have our table episode of 5/8, the best of the NRL era.